What up, YouTube? Topaz Yates back with another reaction, and today we're gonna react to this Donda 2 that just went down as projected. For all the people that came into the channel yesterday saying that, oh, I don't know if it's going to happen. Like, what was the time? What was all that? We said it. We said something was going to drop. Not necessarily the whole full album, but yes, what we got today was at least the outline of what the Donda 2 album can sound like. You did? Like, overall though, I mean, it's clearly not a finished product that he was kicking. This is something that it's a lot farther down the road than what I thought it was, because he all but seems to have been rushing this based on the guidance that he's been getting from Future and all of that stuff. But he got some jams on there though. He got some songs with some potential that if he goes back and reworks them and get them absolutely right, I could see some potential in them. But you can just see, like, there's been a lot of stuff that's been dropping today. A lot of people been talking about how 2/22/22, this is like the one time that this date will ever kind of be like this for a minute, you dig, until 3/30, well no, 3/33 is not a thing. There'll be other dates that you can point at that has some significance, but 2/22/22 is just a date that people just couldn't pass up. You feel me? Everybody wanted to drop something on this, and Kanye rushed his way into delivering something for this particular date. As what we was listening to, the vast majority of them feel undone, feel like demo tracks, feel like he can do much more with them if he goes ahead and makes them more. And then he didn't, like, because from what I was seeing, it was what, maybe 11, 12 songs that he dropped. Kanye's last bunch of albums have gone well beyond 11, 12 songs. So he is clearly not finished with anything here. This is just the making of what I feel as though his whole strategy has been for the Donda parties. You feel me? Donda 1 and now Donda 2, what he's doing is he's making listening parties into major events. You dig? Like, he's bringing us closer to the creation of his music through the concepts, the ups and downs, and then he puts together entertaining shows. For if there's one thing that this and Donda 1, all of the shows from Donda 1 and now the Donda 2 series, that I can all but assure you is about to happen, because he's probably going to do a bunch of these. But what you can take away from all of this is he's going to constantly update. He's going to constantly push forward. He's bringing listening parties into being live events, making it fun for everybody to actually enjoy. And the fact that he's doing it for free, or he's charging, like, a lot of people could have just sat up and watched it. It was on Amazon or twitch.tv/Amazon Music. That's where I watched it. But you could have gone, like homie that was here yesterday. He actually went to the event. You could have went to a IMAX theater, and the IMAX theater here in Charlotte is just way too far for me to be able to get back and then do a live stream. That just wasn't feasible for me. But you could have did that. You could have gone to the actual event and saw, and like, cause there was a bunch of audio issues during the performances that you really didn't get a true feel on everything being said and done. Like, you just heard the tracks that's underneath for the most part going into the TV, which, okay, that's fine. The technology in terms of putting on these types of shows is not 100% there yet. They haven't figured it out. But it's just like the versus battles and all that stuff, man. Eventually is going to come around, is eventually going to get better as they continuously do these things. But let's go ahead and look at what happened here, man. Let's recap what happened for the Donda 2 event, where it started out with the heartbeat. We cannot deny this had to be the start, because this was supposed to start at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and I know it's Kanye. You feel me? We all know that it's Kanye. Kanye's never on time for anything, and I knew this coming in the gate. That's why what I did was I turned on the computer, went to the place where it was all going to be, and just went to sleep. By the time I woke up, the heartbeat was still going on. I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been asleep for like 2 hours. Which, it worked out for me because I was well rested by the time that everything was jumping, but I was looking at the chat room and everybody was mad. Like, oh, everybody take this L. Everybody like, yo, you paid $200 for this device and all you're getting is a heartbeat. And you're getting like messages, like Kanye actually sent a message out via IG where somebody's like, yo, is the performance starting? All I'm hearing is a heartbeat. And Kanye responded, that is the album, fam. Fine God. Trolling nonstop. But at the end of the day, that was just them preparing, because these things, they take time to do. Setups and preparation and getting people there in crowded Miami. Like, things like these take time in order to come together, and people tend to not be on time. You got to come to expect this when it comes time to performances, when it comes time to doing anything of this caliber. A lot of things is just going to drag you behind. You're not going to be on time like you hope you would be. That's just the reality of the business. So people can be as upset as they want to because things are not starting on time, but as long as you get the show, that's all that these people ultimately are liable for giving you. You dig? That's all that really matters. As long as they showing up to give you a show. Now, things happen. People running late. Workers run late. You see the amount of people that was there in the making. They had to build Kanye West's house again. Just to burn it down again. To have all of Kanye's minions all dressed up in the same attire. Everybody had to be on time to do this. Everybody had to be mad early to do this. Considering traffic in Miami. Miami traffic is just as bad as LA traffic. Well, maybe not as bad, but bad. South Beach traffic definitely is bad because the roads are so small. But traffic is ridiculous. Like, there's so much going on that you have to get right. That time just tends to get away from you. It's what happens. So that's why I see that this started about 2 hours late. But I think it was well worth the wait. Like, I was able to get a good nap in. I enjoyed the show. But so the show started off as a continuation from Donda 1. Where if you remember, the last Donda 1 performance that he had is when they actually built the house and they burnt it down with Kanye West inside of the house. That was the last show that that was the last Donda 1 show where they did that. And he picked up where that left off, where he's outside looking at the house now burning. Where they, in fact, this time burnt it all the way to the ground before continuing and bringing out the new songs. In which the first song didn't sound like it was XXXTentacion. I'm not entirely 100% sure, but the first song where he's giving us like the theme of where he's going with the whole project, where this is him going more into his depression and wanting to get back, and where he's at right now with his divorce and Kim K and the kids and all of that stuff, and where his heart resides with all of that. And from what it sounded like, I'm gonna need to like watch the show again, which I will be watching the show again before I can give my actual judgments on how I felt about the music. But the initial feelings that I have would say, okay, the first song sounded pretty dope. Initially, feelings, don't hold me to it. My initial feeling was the first track sounded pretty cool. And I like how he introed and came into it visually, where he's picking up where he left off and things have gotten worse. He's given us a deeper delve into his life as he's going with this particular album. I like the concept. I liked all of the concepts, and the music sounded pretty good after just one listen for me. The second song, where he said, yo, it wasn't me, it was Tyler Durbin. Like, okay. But this was the first song that I'm like, okay, clearly this track was not done. It felt more like a snippet because he only did like one verse and did the hook multiple times. You did it, and then it just cut straight off, and it just felt super rushed. It didn't even feel like it was mixed down like that. At that moment, I realized, okay, none of this is going to be done from this point on. If your second song that you're trying to put out is not sounding 100% done and all of that stuff, dude, then the rest of it is not going to be right. And that's exactly what happened. The third track was Do I Cross Your Mind? That was like the intro to, I think these were two separated, like some people may think that these are two separated tracks. I think they were together. I think the very beginning was just a long extended intro that was somewhat unneeded, that I feel as though a drop should have been there in order for it to justify the length of it, and then go straight into the second beat with the second track, like, was cool. But it again was clearly not finished, rough around the edges. Again, I'm not giving my full thoughts on any of the music because I only listened to it that one time and I can only remember but so much. But I enjoy, like, just overall, I enjoyed the performances and how it all went down here. What up, Pat Corbett said that was definitely Triple X, XXXTentacion. I figured, I knew it was. That's what's up. Like, he had a Triple X feature on deck, which is cool. Rest in peace, Triple X. Pat Corbett says that was a great point about the house burning down. Yes, that was, he's picking up where he left off. Pat Corbett is asking, is the album released on his own streaming service? I hope not. Like, I don't have the $200 joint. I wouldn't be shocked if people have it because that's what he promised he would deliver, but yet the album is clearly not finished. The album is so far from being finished that it's kind of pointless to be giving people all of these things, but he promised that he would. So it should be out, right? I think that it should be out based on everything, but I hope that it's not, because we're clearly going to get a bunch of adjustments, just like how he did The Life of Pablo, just like how he did Donda 1. This is just the style that he's pioneering and trying to master as he moves forward while doing this. The fourth song was Keep the Flowers. And at this point, I'm realizing, like, yo, the beat selection that he's having, where you can hear the future imprint on it, where the instrumentals that he's using and the way that they're using it reminds me of what was it with the big puff of smoke that was a whole bunch of colors and stuff that Future had. I forget the name of that album, but a lot of the production reminds me, at least instrumentally, reminds me of what was on that album, but yet all tweaked and done by Kanye, in which Kanye has his own signature sound. You feel me? And that combination actually works pretty well. For a good selection of these tracks, I definitely enjoy what the beats were sounding like. They were rough around the edges. Again, a bunch of tweaks needed to be made, but I see the direction in which that is going, and I think it can work. But this one in particular, it felt like an EDM track. If you guys remember, it felt like a full EDM Kanye track, and I think it works. I think like this style of production that Kanye has been mastering, like it goes well with EDM. I'm not a big EDM like musical fan, but I think there's a lot of potential there for Kanye to actually take and make something great out of it. After that, brought out The Game, I think. At least we think that was The Game because he was masked up. Like, now would it surprise? Like, would it be because we didn't hear any of the actual voices from these people, at least from where I was, from our vantage points of on Twitch and all that. For the most part, you're not hearing the actual rappers say anything, but we're just having to assume that the person in the mask performing on Easy was The Game and not just a fill-in, which, okay, whatever. Game isn't that expensive to have. Not one of my favorite songs all the way around to begin with, but I'm happy to see a performance. Why wear the mask when y'all are the only ones within like a long period, like a long place? Like, you feel me? Like, I like whenever I go out and do clubs and all that stuff, dude, I wear my mask. Whenever I'm around a bunch of people and stuff like that, I wear my mask. But if you're going to be on stage and the stage is so far away from other people, you might as well not have the mask on, fam. Like, you're not around enough people to catch anything at that particular place. Then you can put it back on after you perform it so you can let people know that that was you. So that, and you need all the shine that you can get, Game, at this point. But it is what it is. I ain't mad at him for keeping the mask on because I keep my mask on at all times. Okay. The fifth song, at least I believe it was the fifth song, because I think I begun to lose track of them after a while because I was going back and forth making notes and stuff so I can remember some things. But so the fifth track seemed to be the Put Security at Risk, where that had like that raw aggressiveness that it is kind of reminiscent to what Kanye was doing off the Yeezus album. And it, Yeezus was not my favorite project. Honestly, it was one of my least favorite projects from Kanye West. And that song in particular, even though I like what he's saying, like, yo, the security is gonna need security after what we gonna do today. I like that because there's a lot of security out here that I do not like, to the degree that I about fought some security at my own clubs and stuff before. And you got the security gotta get checked from time in and time out. You feel me? So I like the concept of it, but the overall feel of it from that particular moment, I really wasn't really feeling it. The sixth track is the one that had Baby Keem, I believe, and the Migos. And to be real with you, it just felt like a standard Atlanta type track that Kanye would just be on. You feel me? It wasn't anything amazing that stood out that could change the way that trap music is being made, and that's one thing that I come to expect from Kanye at this point in time. You feel me? Like, Kanye is one of the greatest artists of our generation, one of the greatest artists of all time. You can't take it away, even though he dives off the deep end. Let's keep it 1,000. He dives completely off the deep end, and he's not all the way there mentally all the time. But yet, what he does ultimately creates the blueprint for how music has been evolving and have been changing, and especially when he comes into doing shows like this where the visuals and everything is evolving as the performance and stuff is going on. He's showing us and telling us a story. Like he's giving us the next level. He's doing something new and dope. He's picking up where he left off. Songs like this don't fit that profile because it just feels like a common Atlanta track just featuring Kanye. It is what it is. But that was just my first impression. The 7th track, Pick Me Up Before I Drown, featuring Future, which saw this one coming. And this one just feels like a Future track, right? A Future track that's interpreted by Kanye West, as he has multiple of these, which again, when you got Future executively producing your project and Future only does one song, that one song is going to make an appearance on your project. And in this case, it made more than one appearance. But I mean, I'm not gonna say, like, even though Future makes like but one song, maybe a few, but for the most part, Future just makes one song and he's decent at it. And I think both of these Future songs off this project actually turned out pretty decent. But then, after that point, that's when, like, the house fully burned down and Kanye was able to go up and sit on the house with his minions. Like, all of his minions, because that's clearly Kanye is becoming a super villain. He's like Despicable Me level at this point. When you look at the automobile that he rolled through the McDonald's commercial, how he's dressing in the most extravagant, super black, big hoodies and leather and all of this stuff with shades and a mask. He feels like Despicable Me type villain who got 1,000 minions now walking around his burnt up house in a lake or something. Or well, it ain't the lake, it's the water that they use to put out the fire. That's still there, and it became all but a part of the whole essence of what was going on. Like, I liked it. Like, this is like the continue. Like I said, man, the whole visuals and everything. This is the continuation. This is the next level of where Donda 1 dropped off. And right after that, out came Pusha T and Kanye. They did Diet Coke. Well, that was cool. Like, now, Diet Coke is one of my more favorite songs that Pusha T has came out with as of a minute. You feel me? Like, I was not a big fan of Daytona, of like all of these good music projects. And why? Because you got Kanye West, one of the predominant music producers of an entire generation, but yet instead of trying to get the best quality production that you can out of this man and actually going and seeking other dope producers as well because you have the budget to do so, Pusha T, in fact, dumbed down his production so that he can showcase his own lyricism, which diminished the quality of all of the projects where he was supposed to be in his prime doing. But yet, you get a track like this from time to time, a Diet Coke with a production actually is tight, that actually measures up to the caliber of an artist that Pusha T actually is, creating something very entertaining. Even though he was trolling on social media saying, yo, I'm growing up as a person, I'm no longer going to be making cocaine references. And then immediately after that drops Diet Coke. Okay, alright fam, but awesome song. Love the performance that they had in front of the burnt down house in the water. That was cool. And then an odd moment Maybe it was the DJ messed up. Maybe Kanye wanted to do it. Maybe it was just an honest mistake all the way through. Maybe they forgot that they did it. But they ran back before I drowned for some odd apparent reason. Now, maybe I'm mistaken and that was like the remix, a actual remix in some form or fashion, but I didn't catch it. Like, it felt like the same track. Like, maybe it was just an error, maybe it was deliberate. Either way, hey, when you're doing performances, when you're doing anything, man, whatever happens during this performance, yeah, got to just keep it pushing. Pat Corbase's DS2. Yeah, Dirty Sprite 2. That was the Future album that you can hear the production, the instrumentals at least. I feel there's a bunch of commonalities in the production that Kanye West is doing now to the instrumentals that was on Dirty Sprite 2. It's just Kanye took it and made Kanye beats out of it. Because Kanye has his own distinct sound when he's rocking with his own producers that's putting things together for him. You feel me? We'll touch more on those statements a little later because we're gonna get on those. But okay, after they ran back before I drowned for some odd apparent reason, I don't know why, then came the 8th joint. At least I think it was the 8th joint, and it was Stop Buying Louis Bags. He stopped buying Louis bags after Virgil passed. Now this is the exact description of a demo track. This gives you Skippity Poo vibes, don't it? Skippity Poo, where he shows you exactly how he makes songs. How Kanye will make a song is he'll get a beat. Maybe if he's producing the beat, what he will do is he'll find a sample. He will send the sample to a producer who got his sound that he likes to get stuff from, and that person will take that, add some drums, add the whatever he wants to add to it. Kanye will tweak it. They'll come together and collaborate for it. And after he gets the beat to where he needs it to be, then he proceeds to try to find how he wants to rap on it. In order to find how he wants to rap on it, he's not going to lay any actual vocals, any actual lyrics on it, like this beat that's playing in the background if you guys hear it right now. You can figure out how you want to flow to it just throwing in random words. Like how Kanye would do it is, yo, Kanye all day, off, all day, like it's off, all day, out there, up in broad day. Like you do it like that. You do it like that and you record yourself so that you know how you want to rap on it. You don't necessarily want to perform that. Why? Because you're not saying anything. And people actually do care that you're saying stuff. If you're going to perform your new music has to be done to the point that you actually have lyrics on there, right? But no, not on this particular track. He was just going ahead doing his whole skippity poo thing. And the reason why he did this is because he wanted to bring out the fact that he had the feature already lined up in Jack Harlow. Like he got the concept, then he went from the concept, he already bought the feature out of Jack Harlow, he just have it written or laid down his own particular bullshit. And that's where that song is, and that's why it's completely unfinished, but yet it's part of the album. So he felt as though maybe, I guess he felt as though you might as well showcase the demo track. Like people are people are tuning in to listen to the new stuff. And how it sounds like trash. Now, I mean, why do I feel as though it sounds like trash? Because Jack Harlow sounded kind of off. The beat wasn't clean. There's no actual lyrics. But yet Kanye has a vision for it. It's just the demo track isn't showing off the vision that he has for it yet. Like, this is the type of song that if you go into Rockefeller to try to play, that's the type of song that they should be ignoring you for. Not All Falls Down. You feel me? But I do want to hear what the finished product is going to sound like. I do want to hear what I do want to hear the actual like concept more, the actual thing, like, because what he's saying is actually kind of dope. Because he's no longer he's trying to crap on Louis, because I guess Louis Vuitton and him have been falling out since Virgil died. Even though I do believe he is signed to Louis Vuitton, right? Like, he does have a deal in place with LVRN, which is the predominant luxury, anything that's luxury code, from Louis Vuitton to cars to all the champagnes, and like Jay-Z is signed to these people, and Jay-Z paved the way for them to go ahead and pick up Kanye. Maybe Kanye's already falling out with them. I don't know. You can hardly follow things what Kanye's doing in his life, because every day in his life things is changing really quickly. You feel me? But there was a moment there where I thought Kanye was signed and getting paid by these people who was making Louis bags. But now that Virgil's done, I guess he's saying that he's done with these people and he's going back full Yeezy, which is dope, because the Yeezy brand, you don't need Louis Vuitton and all of them, like, but who got the answers though? You got the answers though, Sway? Do you have the answers? Because that's what Sway was saying to you. You don't need the mainstream when you got your own poppin' brand. But maybe Sway don't know what he's talking about, even though that's what you're talking about now. But that's beyond the point. The 9th track became like the second Future song. And like I said, standard Future. But standard Future isn't all that bad. You feel me? If done properly, standard Future is actually solid music. But it wasn't one that like took me by surprise, wasn't one that took me to a whole nother level. You feel me? It wasn't one that I actually really, really cared about. And then became a very interesting moment. After that moment, he played his Kim K snippet that he's going to have on the album, which it takes on a whole nother meaning, where Kim K was being super brash about how she married the most creative and best rapper in the world. And while they did it, what was dope is when they brought in the solar eclipse while this was happening. Like, the whole visuals of the whole house and everything, it changed at that moment. This is him, this is Kanye reflecting on how things were as it's going full depression. Well, that's kind of where he's been at in like his social media presence. That's basically where his social media presence has been for the past forever. How long, man? Like, why he's been going off the deep end, dissing Pete Davidson, willing to fight people, going back and forth all the time. Like, it's because he's hurt about his divorce and all that. Not acknowledging like, yo, bro, you kind of winning. You see Pete Davidson driving the cars that you bought. You feel me? Ain't nobody gonna provide for Kim Kardashian like how Kanye West provided for Kim Kardashian. Her downgrade has become so obvious. Her downgrade is like really bad. You feel me? It's been really bad. It's not a good look. Kanye, all you got to do is just be cool and not get caught up in these emotions. And guaranteed Kim K is gonna come back begging. Guaranteed. Because who's gonna buy her another Bentley? Man, the next man that she's with is going to do less for her than what Pete Davidson is doing now. And all Pete Davidson is doing is driving the Bentleys that Kanye bought. It is what it is. And then after that becomes the intro, he begins to take it back to Donda 1. Well, saw this one coming. We saw like we was getting insight from Julian Rodriguez yesterday. He was giving us insight on, okay, there's going to be a bunch of people that's going to be featured there, how they're going to redo Donda 1 because, you know, Donda 2 isn't done. He only did, 10, maybe 11 songs or something like that. And like I said, the original Donda went for how many songs? It had to go for like 17 songs or something like that. Matter of fact, let me try to pull that up to give you an exact number. But it went for well beyond the 11 tracks that Kanye gave us today. So that lets me know that he's clearly not finished. He's clearly... No, it went 27 songs. But that's like the updated, that's borderline like the deluxe version. Yeah, the deluxe version went for 27 songs. Do not be shocked if Donda 2 ends up being like that as it continues to evolve and continues to grow and continues to edit. But yet, only was able to get 11 songs that he was willing to perform. I'm sure he got many more, but yet these songs were the only ones that he was finished enough with, where he got the concepts down enough that he was able to actually put it out there. Like Pat Corbett is saying, Jack Harlow and Fivo Foreign, right? Or Fivo, I think it's Fivo Foreign. They did the live and Fivo Foreign was awful, yes, because that's what happened. Like they did the Donda intro, and then after that brought out Alicia Keys, Fivo Foreign to do the track that they did together, The City of Gods. And I love Alicia Keys. She came out and showed out on the keys and all of that stuff, man. But I feel you, Fivo Foreign is awful. And it doesn't shock me because he's never been an amazing artist. You dig? All Fivo Foreign has been throughout the entirety of his career has been a spin-off of Pop Smoke with a lesser defined voice. But yet I will say he's a little better with his delivery and his flow, but yet he got a lesser defined voice for actually putting anything out. But the actual performances from Jack Harlow to Fivo Foreign, all of that was pretty bad, man. Kanye brought out the Baby and Marilyn Manson with, okay, that's an L. Marilyn Manson, who's going through like the rape case right now and with like brutally raping women. You still trying to be super critical and all of that right now? Like you had your moment, like, okay, I understand on Donda 1, you wanted to get those two guys together and bring out Trump as well, where you can see Trump didn't come through again. If he brought out Marilyn Manson, he definitely wanted to bring out Trump and have them all together for that moment again. But why? What is Marilyn Manson providing besides shock value here? What is he providing towards the music? What is he providing towards the performance? You're just bringing him out so that you can shock people because these individuals are going through their issues and you want to tie yourselves to people that seem to be on their way down. Why? why are you doing this? I hate to go whole Joe Button. Why? Oh. But you see, this is the thing, man. You tying yourself to people that you don't need to tie yourself to. Put on some people instead of tying yourself to people that are on their way down. That's what I would prefer. You feel me? Find you some talented individuals that need a break instead of constantly putting on these people in the commercial industry that's going through their own issues that they put themselves in, that whatever negatives and things that's getting drawn back directly to them, it's all their fault for that, and if they fall off because of it, so be it. While you are still relevant, use your relevancy to go ahead and put on others. But then from there, you know, he kept pushing the Donda. He kept pushing Donda 1, doing a bunch of the Donda songs as the lunar eclipse changed from a lunar eclipse to a solar star. It looked like a sun that died, or it was dying, a dying star. As it got super bright, super hot, super sun-like. Like, I like the visuals of it, man. The raw visuals of everything that he's trying to show us, that was fire. What up, Beats by Taylor Tad? Jack Harlow is not that good. I agree. I'm not gonna say that he's terrible though. Like, Jack Harlow can deliver pretty good delivery. He can deliver decent flow. He can make solid songs from time in out. From time to time, he can deliver good songs if he has the right production to back him up. If he has everything going in his right direction. It's like when you look at an NFL team. Look at an NFL team like the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings have a running attack with Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs in the league. Got one of the best receivers in the league. And because of that, it makes Kirk Cousins seem like he's a good quarterback in certain games because everything is laid out for him to be successful. If you lay out everything for Jack Harlow to be successful, he can be successful. But yet he's not going to make or break a song. He's not going to make a complete hit out of production that is not of the caliber in which you wanted on the highest caliber. He's not going to make, like Kanye has made hits out of things that should not have been a hit. Harlow is not going to be able to do that. Paul of Mudgow says Harlow was alright. Yeah, Harlow was I mean, I don't think that song was anywhere near done in order for them to perform it. I don't think there was ever an opportunity for that song to have ever been good at this moment. You feel me? So no matter what Jack Harlow was going to provide at this point in time, it was not going to be amazing. It is what it is. But I think when it's finished and we actually hear the actual ideas of what he's trying to do with this track, I think it could turn out to being something better than what we're hearing now. But that's about the max I can say about that. Pat Corbet says he's dumb fly though. Nah, if you say so. I mean, he seemed like a cool dude. I think he's cool. I think he's a cool dude. That's the best I can say. Paul of Mudgow says, when is Donda 2 dropping? That is the $1 million question now, ain't it? Nobody knows. I don't think Kanye knows. To be real with you, he made promises to a degree. Like, people bought that $200 piece of equipment. So what he delivered today should be out tonight. That's how I feel about it. What he delivered today should be out tonight. But that's up to Kanye now, ain't it? That's definitely not up to us. That is definitely up to Kanye. But I can tell you that it's not going to be on the streamer. Like Paul asked, do I have the stem player? No, I don't. Actually, I know somebody who does. He's a subscriber that may actually pull up later tonight. He actually went to an IMAX theater to watch it. He might pull up a little later tonight. He has a stem player and he gave me the lowdown on everything. His name is Julian Rodriguez. If you see him in the chat, holla at him and ask him exactly how the stem player is working. There you go. There go my man's right there. What up, dog? How did you enjoy the show, Julian? The audio guy was trash, dude. Like, I watched it on Twitch, and oh yes. Yep, Fivo and Cody were completely offbeat. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly how it came out on Twitch. That is exactly how it came. Like, are you in possession right now, Julian, of this album from your stem player? That is the $1 million question, because a lot of people don't have it, and a lot of people are wondering when the album is dropping. You feel me? And again, as we hold this, clearly none of these songs are finished. A lot of the audio was trash. Maybe one, because the audio man wasn't right, and two, because the tracks weren't right to begin with. You feel me? Like, none of these tracks sounded to be mastered. None of these tracks sounded to be done. Like the Stop Buying Louis Bags after Virgil passed. That song, he went full skippity poo, bro. Oh no, you don't have the joint? Damn. Saying that it likely didn't drop. Like, yeah, man, I have no idea. Like, we gonna have to get confirmation from somebody out here if they actually have possession of the project of it. Oh yeah, I mean, Paul says, I think it's gonna leak soon after it drops. Definitely, everything leaks as soon as it drops. And Julian Rodriguez says, my prediction was right. The album is not done, and that's facts. Like, but to be real with you, it's a lot farther along than I thought it was, Julian. Because, like, it felt like this was super rushed all the way. But yet, he showcased like a good, 11 songs? 12 songs? Austin Texera says, I'ma go to bed. Hopefully it's gonna be up tomorrow. Don't hold your breath, fam. But good night to you, man. I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everything. You coming through, looking out. But I would say, like, everything that he did up to this point was just to showcase to us that he has a good amount of projects that aren't quite done yet, but he's almost to the finishing point. He's just clearly not ready. Yeah, Julian Rodriguez says that half the songs weren't even full songs. Exactly. Like, you're only getting like one verse and a hook, and then he jumped to the next track. Like, So you really just not even, like, he's just giving us the concepts. He's giving us the concepts and his thought process around all of these things that he's doing. Julian Rodriguez says the singing features were fire though. The intro track was beautiful. Yes, that intro was fire. And yeah, I mean, the samples on top of the actual singing that done as well. I think he definitely did it sounds good for where it's at now. But are we saying that he's done? Like the last Donda? No. He's clearly, there's a chance that he can go back and get him better singers. Like, there's a chance that tonight he's going to get Alicia Keys to go ahead and lay some vocals on some of what Donda 2 has to offer. Would it shock you? Just like how with Donda 1, when he was, as soon as he got done with Donda, they started going into the little, his cell, I guess, where he was at, lifting weights and recording new music. I wouldn't be shocked if that's happening right now. They went straight from the show to going ahead and recording some new stuff, and the next time we hear it, we're going to have more. Paul says that Cardi not being featured on Donda 2 is sad. Meh. Like, okay, Cudi clearly has his own issues with Kanye. Like, when an individual is mad, that's when they spill their guts and all your hatred that you have for an individual. That's when it all comes out. And that's what he did. Cudi showcased his distaste for Kanye and his actions and everything that Kanye has been up to and what he's been doing for quite some time. You feel me? So, him not being featured is part of his own, it's part of his own mistakes. It's part of everything that he was. Like, his Kid Cudi has been super self-centered, super selfish for a long extended period of time. We're only just now hearing it. You dig? Julian Rodriguez says the stage design was amazing. Camera guy was blessing us. Facts. Bro, the most important part, the music was off. Like, yeah, that stage, man. Like, and like I said in the very beginning of this, I'm like, look, you can see the concept in which he's doing. He's picking up where he left off. That's why they bumped down the building in the beginning, because they bumped down the home at the very end of all of Donda 1, the campaign or whatever. They bumped it down with him inside. But now, with Donda 2, he's picking up where he left off, but now he's looking at it as it burns down and then approaching it as the image that I'm showing you right there. Like, it's amazing, thought-provoking, like, stage design and storytelling that Kanye put, because you know Kanye, he does that. That Kanye is like he's like the most amazing stage designer that I've seen in all, like, the closest, best stage design that I've seen to what Kanye has been doing consistently would be when J. Cole did we made the house that he lived in, but just the roof, and he performed on the roof. Like, that's like the closest that we see to great stage design from anybody else but Kanye. Kanye's amazing with it, man. Julian Rodriguez says that Ye walked out, then fired the sound guy. Did he? Did he for real? Or is that a troll? Either way, that's hilarious, because yeah, he should have. But I mean, because, okay, was it 100% the sound guy's fault? We like to put blame on the sound guy the most because he is the person that's his job. His job is to deliver the sound on the highest level. But can we legitimately say that Kanye gave him the best material to work with? When your stuff is undone, when your stuff isn't mastered, when it's not done well enough to be performed, then in a lot of cases, you get that kind of sound. It's like, whenever you call somebody and have it on speakerphone and they recording this call in order to put it online, if you have it on speakerphone, it sounds like somebody is speaking through a hollow cup. You feel me? Like, if you sound is a super delicate thing. If the sound is not mastered, if it's not done properly, then when it gets played back, it's going to sound nothing like it sounds in the studio. It's going to sound nothing like you want it to sound at all. That's just sound 101. You feel me? That's audio engineering 101. Like, it's a TV show that I tell everybody that you guys need to have watched if you're interested in the music industry. And it's the Wu-Tang Clan TV show. Hopefully they're gonna come back with another season sometime soon. But when Wu-Tang started to make their own music in their own studio that they created, they took it to a actual radio station. And it was the hits. It was a Cream Get the Money, Dollar Dollar Bills, y'all. I believe it was that. It was either that or the I forget exactly what song it was. But yet, Wu-Tang's whole style of production was never the typical. It was always raw, uncut. They made it to feel that way. The radio station said they love the music, but I cannot play this because when you look at the sound levels, if you play that on the radio, if you play that in speakers, it's going to sound like it's coming through a hollow cup because none of it is perfected at all. And that's how you got to do it, which made they had to record their demos at their own studio that they spent a lot of money trying to do. But then they had to use more money to record it in a mastering studio because that's the necessary steps in order for your music to be prepared. Now, if you try to perform music that ain't go through all of these steps, which clearly none of this music is finished enough to perform to sound right through all of these speakers, that's how it's going to sound. No sound man in the world is going to be able to turn gold out of something that will never sound good in speakers, ever. You feel me? So yes, it sounded bad, but I'm not going to put that completely on the feet of the sound man because what he had to work with was not the finest. What he had to work with was not ready to be played, but yet they played it anyway because this is the new wave that Kanye is doing, and even though it sounds bad, people showed up to listen to it. We were all there. We all listened to it. We all got our own ideas on how these songs are going to sound like, but yet they can sound completely different when they actually do get the mastering suites, when they actually do get a good mix down, when they actually are completed, they're going to sound completely different. But we were all there. A lot of money was made. And that's a good point though, right there. Julian Rodriguez says, remember the mic issues happened as well on already finished and mixed and mastered songs with the Donda 1. Yes. Now, when Donda 1 started cutting out and not sounding good, yeah, that's all on the engineer. Because all of those songs are done, mixed, mastered, made deluxe editions, all of that stuff. So yes, those are on the sound man. Those are definitely on the sound team. But anything, I'm not gonna put those at the sound man's feet. World Needs Help says, what's good, bro? What's happening, homie? Audio team messed the vibe up. Came to see what you got to say. Yeah, the audio team messed it up. I'm not going to deny it, but you can't put it at the feet of them because, if the music ain't all the way done to begin with, then the audio team can only do but so much. Now, when the audio team messed up Donda 1, yeah, that's their fault. They should get fired for that. That's all messed up. But everything from Donda 1, but all of the Donda 2 songs, they all sound undone. There's a lot more work to be had here, but there is something here. I hear good music. I hear I hear good samples. I hear good production. I hear good concepts that Kanye is trying to run with. It's just none of this stuff is done. So it's extremely difficult to actually rate and determine anything about it. You feel me? What rating would I give Donda? Donda, man, as time has passed, Donda has been waning on me, bro. Like, there's still 3 songs that I got on my playlist that I still got from Donda, but I haven't really played them like that, man. Like, in a lot of cases, I will just skip past them because there's a lot better stuff out there. Like, my initial review for Donda, what did I give that? Hold up. Let me go look that up. What was my initial reaction to Donda? I got to say, I think my initial was 6 out of 10. But as time has continued to pass, I think that 6 out of 10 has become more of a 4. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. But now, I'll say now like a 4.5 because these songs, they're not as good. They're fading away. A lot of them might get deleted, to be real. Julian Rodriguez says, my only issue was the mic being offbeat and Ye having to ask for a mic. Like, why no mic headset? Like, he did have a headset, right? I saw that he had a headset, but yet I guess none of it was working. Like, none of this stuff. Like, why? Now, but my question is, so you just gonna let the fact that he was late by like 2 hours slide, huh? Now, that was one of my, like, honestly, it wasn't one of my issues because I was able to go ahead and take a nap and then come back. But I thought that you would be a little more upset about that. But yeah, the stage design, I guess that's like on the stage design, you're supposed to have speakers pointing at you. They're called monitors. You're supposed to have monitors pointed at you so you can hear what the sound sounds like as it goes outside. But with it being such a big space where he was performing and there being water everywhere, I don't know where they put the actual monitors. So could he actually hear? Like, I think the monitor was supposed to be his headset that he had in his ear, but yet the headset wasn't working for some odd apparent reason. Like, this is why things like sound check is very important. Like, set design and all that, that's probably what took the most time for them to actually build up and do things, you dig? Julian Rodriguez says, bruh, that was crazy, but it was expected. 2 hours, man, 2 hours, bruh. Like, did you hear the heartbeat, Julian? Because on Twitch.tv, they just had a heartbeat going for 2 hours to the point that I just went to sleep to the heartbeat, and my nephew was playing his game right next to it, and he was like, man, this heartbeat is like mad annoying. Paul says, when it dropped, I was like, it's a mid 6. Then I was like, damn, it's good, it's a 7. And now it's a forgettable mediocrity 5. Yeah, like, time has not been good to Donda. But that's what happens when you rush projects out, you feel me? And that's what Kanye has been doing, and that's what Kanye is continuously, like, because Kanye, like, there's no reason that Kanye should be dropping Donda 2 right now. Kanye is one of the preeminent recording artists of our generation that record labels will spend their time, spend all of their money waiting for the next Donda project to come out. The time and money will be well invested in him to deliver the best music that he possibly can. But instead of taking his time, he's rushing this stuff out. And as time passes, that initial feel, that initial jolt that you get because of the visuals that you're seeing, because I like this Donda 2 right now because I like the performance that he put on. I like the visuals that, you don't get this type of performance from artists ever. You really don't get these kinds of performances from artists because artists are just more, I just want to make a song, get paid, and move on. You don't get artists that actually are true to the art and actually tries to deliver concepts and ideas, stuff that's different and unique from anybody else. You don't hardly ever get that. So when an artist does deliver that with amazing stage presence as Kanye is delivering here, you're tying the music together with this visual evidence. You feel me? You're tying it all together with that. Your feeling about his performance is tied in with the music. But yet, when that performance is no longer there, which it will not be there every single time you listen to this album, the music is going to have to stand on its own. Will the music stand on its own without these performances? We don't know until we have the project and we sit up on that project for a minute. And if Kanye didn't spend the amount of time necessary in order to make that into the best that it possibly can, then things can fall off and fall off really quick. Julian Rodriguez says every few minutes a QR code would pop up on screen for merch, which I got. See, these are all investments that you are making, Julian. Like when Kanye West retires and is done in the game, all of this stuff that you bought, you could probably resell this stuff, dude. Like, hold on to it. Don't wear it. Don't mess it up. Make sure that you maintain it, because we may never see another artist of this caliber doing this kind of stuff consistently ever again when Kanye finally does decide to wrap it up. You feel me? So that's very smart of you to be buying those. Those can be ultimate investments. Maybe. Or it could end up being, what many of these cryptocurrencies are when they end up just dying from rug pulls and stuff like that. It could end up being that too, because Kanye has been flooding the world with a whole bunch of stuff. But yet the vast majority of his projects and things that he do is usually limited supply. So anything that you can buy from him, the resale value is going to be ridiculous, especially as time move on. So I ain't mad at you for your investments. Just maintain those investments. You'll thank me and you'll thank Kato. You'll thank me and you'll thank Kanye much later in life if you do it the right way. Julian Rodriguez says that he only got 3 artist merch accessories, and that's Clipping, Peggy, and Doom, MF Doom. Yep. That MF Doom accessories, if you maintain those, give it 20 years, you could probably resell that for much more than what you paid for it. That could be a great investment. World Needs Help says the mic has a delayed, the mic was delayed before it hit the speakers, so it was sounding way off. The beat couldn't sync. You can understand what was happening with the audio when Fivo kept telling rapping trying to match it. Yes, like that is like a desyncing and delay effects. Like those do happen. It's like okay. From time to time, I will write a song and record a song at my crib. You dig? Using this microphone right here that I'm talking to you with. Using my editing software, I will write and record songs and such. But the things that I realized is doing it this way, there's a delay on my voice going from the microphone into the beat to it getting recorded. You feel me? That can happen while performing. If you didn't already test to make sure that, like, this is why mic check is important. But clearly they spent all the time setting up the performance pieces or the background work and all, which, hey, I'm all for that. You feel me? They put in the maximum effort and time getting all of that right, instead of making sure the audio was going to be tight. Sound check, very important. That's why you show up to shows 4 or 5 hours beforehand, if not the day before, to mic check to make sure everything is right so that you can hear yourself and you get the shows off right. That's how they do all the big shows. But it seems as though Kanye isn't going in that direction. Julian Rodriguez says, y'all saw the Yeezy Gap countdown get pushed back like 5 hours to not drop anything? Ooh, I didn't even see that one. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. So they just canceled it when it was. That's right. Like you said, there was supposed to be a fashion show, right? There was supposed to be a fashion show. But that's what happens when you're late. You feel me? Like, they probably only had the venue, but for so long. That's probably why the show was supposed to start at 9. 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock was probably supposed to be the fashion show. But yet, because they was late, because they couldn't pull it off, they probably just scrapped it all the way around and just went directly to the show. And that sucks. Like, and I know, and you know, Kanye is the type of person, he puts so much thought, he puts so much effort into doing all of this stuff. For it to be postponed indefinitely like that, man, that's not a good look. I'm sure he's upset about it, but I'm also sure that he'll try to make up for it, because that's something that he's very passionate about, is his fashion line. He's passionate about doing his fashion shows. He wanted to tie it all in together, but it seemed to be way too much. And, you know, sometimes you bite off more than what you can chew. Like, not only was this show something that was rushed because he had to finish making the music in order to do it, but to be focused in on finishing the actual clothing to do the fashion show. Or at least, like, Kanye is doing so much that he needs to begin to put people in positions to handle it so that he doesn't have to be the only one doing it. You feel me? But what's good in MM radio? But but the drop leaked in China. Really? It's $200 hoodies and $100 shorts, and I'm sure there's no designs on them joints. Ain't that something? But I gotta get up out of here for once. Black, beige, and white. No designs at all. Like, I mean, I don't know why people overpay for all of Kanye's stuff, man. Kanye, and I respect him. I mean, he's using his artwork, he's using his notoriety to get the maximum out of everything, but yet, man, the quality of his stuff is not on the level of what the price he's trying to put out there, dude. I like to buy quality stuff, not stuff that's just name brand just to be name brand because you Kanye. Give me something fire before I buy it. You feel me? Something that I got all the utmost respect for. But that's just me. Like his audience and fan base is going to buy whatever it is he put out no matter what and probably resell it in the future. But I got to wrap it up. I got somewhere I need to be. I got a little something to do. So I appreciate everybody who came through here, man. Remember, album review probably dropping this Thursday. But I've been doing short videos every day, man. Look out for your boy, man. We're gonna keep it pushing forward. I appreciate you, Julian Rodriguez, NMM Radio, Paul Mudgal, World Needs Help. Everybody who came, I know there's more of you guys, I'm sorry. Beats by Talon, Pat Corbet, John Doe, appreciate everybody coming through, man. I appreciate y'all all the way. We're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna continue to make these videos, man. Hopefully we're gonna get the actual Donda 2 album tonight, some way, somehow, so that we can listen to it some more. We're gonna rewatch this performance. It is what it is. Hopefully we'll get a finished album, but I'll holla at you guys, man. You guys have a nice night. See y'all tomorrow.